The Wisconsin Badgers are coming off a stunning and also boring, but more so stunning and surprising upset regardless of the then 23rd ranked Washington Huskies, earning their first Big Ten win in over a year. Their last Big Ten win was October of 2024. They're 3-6, 1-5 in Big Ten play. They have to travel though to play an Indiana team that is going to get their butt kicked and have to run until they need a lot of water to drink. Don't want to use the run until you puke or run until you get heat stroke analogy because that's not good coaching. But Indiana has an elite staff. They're going to want to run these players into the dirt in a healthy way, make sure that they learn from their mistakes, and they're returning home as 30.5-point favorites against Wisconsin. This will be a noon game, televised on Big Ten Network, and because Wisconsin's this bad of an underdog, we have to approach this from a point of, will this be a tune-up game for Indiana? Will they win by 40 or 50 or maybe even 60 because Wisconsin has no offense to speak of and Indiana's good enough there in terms of balance to, put together several drives to score that many points? Or can Wisconsin make this competitive at all? Well, let's look at Wisconsin's schedule. One thing that I find with Wisconsin is they have not quit yet. They've announced that they're bringing back Fickle for next year. Good thing they at least won a game, because I think bringing him back with a 2-10 overall record and no wins and no really close contests outside of the early games to start off the year, that would be very uninspiring. But at least you found a win here, at the very least. And games against Illinois and Minnesota, the spread will be short enough to where we can talk about that game more as a normal preview and not one where we treat Wisconsin like a very improbable pick to win or almost an impossible pick to win. They can beat Minnesota, maybe even Illinois because it's at home. If it were on the road, I'd say they couldn't even beat Illinois. This channel will make you a college football expert and help you enjoy watching games and make more accurate predictions. So what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment your thoughts, and watch the video all the way through so that you can get the full package. And check the description and pinned comment for more ways to help yourself and this channel. So there is a path in theory to get to, 4-8 or 5-7, which with this schedule and with the announcement that Wisconsin's making would at least give some semblance of juice for the Badgers next year. But you ideally, to get there, would want to compete in this game and at least show initial fight. If Indiana is able to do to Wisconsin what they have done to every other team they've hosted, so Michigan State, they win by 25. UCLA, they win by 50. Illinois, they win by 53. They beat Indiana State by 73. They beat Kennesaw State by 47. And Old Dominion was a 13-point win, but it looked a lot more similar to those other home games than, say, the trips to Iowa and Penn State. And also, they beat Maryland on the road by 45, and they beat Oregon on the road by 10. History says that Indiana beats these bad teams, especially at home under Cignetti, by this wide margin, this very wide margin. The matchup also is not favorable for the Badgers outside of one aspect that actually does go in their favor on paper. And that is the fact that Indiana's offense is RPO based, so it really helps when they're able to get the run game going early. And one thing Wisconsin is excellent at doing is stopping the run. Their run defense is top 20 in yards allowed per game, and they've played Michigan, one of the better rushing offenses in the country, and they played them with a healthy Justice Haynes. Oregon, one of the best rushing offenses in the country. Iowa, one of the best rushing offenses in the country. Alabama and Ohio State have not had awesome rushing attacks, but they've gotten up by big enough margins because of their passing offense to where they then try to run the ball a lot, and they're still not able to do it even in garbage time. So this Badger defense and this front with, Ben Barton, with Daryl Peterson, with Tackett Curtis, with Sebastian Cheeks, with Christian Allegro, with JVR Suggs, they hit on all their portal additions and all of their development pieces in this defensive front. It is one of the better defensive fronts in college football, shockingly enough. They can keep this game close if they sell it to stop the run, and Mendoza is off just enough as he's been in the past, I'd say really 3 games, to maybe stall some drives. But I think Indiana's the dramatically better team here, the drastically better team, and I'm picking them obviously to win and to cover. They'll win this game, I think, by 40, 50 points. I would not be shocked if they pitch a shutout here, especially after how that Penn State game transpired and they end up giving up 24 points. That is not going to sit well with Cignetti or Bryant Haines. It's the same thing with the offense and how it performed, and the defense is the healthiest side of the football right now. I also wouldn't be shocked if they get back some of their offensive linemen and Elijah Surratt plays, but I also would not be surprised if they actually sit them in the scheme, even if they're healthier, to not risk injury against a team they're favored by 30.5 points over. I mean, we've seen Indiana play. We know what their ceiling is. If they don't cover here, and it's because they intentionally sit some of those players, my mind won't change on them at all, even though ideally you would want to cover and win big against this caliber of team. Wisconsin's a really bad, poor team. I'm just going to roll with what I've been rolling with. So with Ohio State, I pick them to cover basically all the time. Only picked against them twice, and one was a hedge to pick a team to cover that I thought was either going to play them really close or get blown out, and they ended up getting blown out. With Indiana, I've picked them to cover in, I think, literally every game this year. Helps that they have been an underdog at times or a shorter favorite, unlike Ohio State, who's never been an underdog. With the Hoosiers and the Buckeyes, I pretty much always bet them to cover, or at least pick them to cover. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Until proven otherwise, Indiana's going to win this game by 50, and then they're going to enter the bye, get healthier before playing a road rivalry game against the Purdue Boilermakers. Indiana's fighting for a national championship. If you're Wisconsin, you're probably fighting to just win at least one more game, if not maybe 2, but at least one more to get some more juice and then really hit the portal hard, try to sign an okay high school recruiting class, and make some positive staff changes. Thank you for watching. It's my mission on College Football with Sam to make you the most informed, knowledgeable, and entertained fan as possible. We aren't perfect, but we hit the nail on the head more often than we hit our thumb with the hammer. Make sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, comment, and if you're here, you've probably already watched the whole video. So thank you for doing those things.